Many IT people think about Patch Tuesday with a mix of nostalgia and regret. Now in a modern cloud environment where we're using cloud apps and we're using mobile apps, how does patching change? We've got Tom Bernardini here. Tom is a modern work and security engineer. Tom, let's start by giving us a high-level overview of what is app patching in a modern world?
In a modern world, it allows us to push patches to the applications, whether it just be upgrades for a new version of the app or for security vulnerabilities over the air to any device.
Any device. And tell me, what kinds of applications, which categories of applications does modern app patching apply to?
I'd say most of all the modern applications we use nowadays, such as Office 365, Adobe Acrobat, Reader, Chrome, Edge.
Okay.
The vast majority of what everyone uses in the work and personal home today as well.
Okay, great. So what problem are we addressing with modern app patching?
Minimizing the amount of time from when a security vulnerability is found on an application to when you can actually patch and update it.
Yeah.
Before patching was much more labor intensive. It was usually done, patch Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesday night.
There was much more work involved also to schedule patches and get them ready to push out to devices.
And you had to, of course, queue them up. It might not be next Tuesday, it might be Tuesday 3 weeks from now. And so that's a lot of time between discovery and resolution or remediation.
Which leaves it open.
Yeah. So that leads me to my next question. Why do we need to solve this now? Why is this such an acute issue now?
Security, you want to make sure that everything is up to date and safe to prevent hackers from intruding into your network, especially with people working from home. It can leave much more vulnerabilities open.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing apps receiving updates much more frequently.
Correct.
To address more vulnerabilities being discovered, I guess.
Some manufacturers, such as Google or Chrome, will constantly push updates as they find vulnerabilities and also for improvement.
Okay. And I guess when a vendor releases a patch, that's basically telling the world that there was a vulnerability, we've addressed it, so now the hacking community knows about it.
Correct. And you want to push that out as fast as you can.
Right, because it's a race.
Exactly. To whoever gets there first.
Yeah, so the bad guys are trying to exploit it, and the good guys, system administrators, engineers, trying to do the patch and prevent the bad guys exploiting it. Very interesting. Tell us a little bit about the technology and the process, and how does a good modern app patching regime, what does it look like?
There's different ways that could be done. With Intune, you can create the package yourself, wrap it, upload it into Intune, and assign it to devices or users. There's other third-party tools like Patch My PC that you can incorporate and integrate into Intune that will actually pre-package more commonly used apps such as Chrome, Adobe Reader, Adobe Acrobat. So it cuts down work on the app packaging creation portion. So when something comes out, you just have to be, there's an update. Let me just assign it to whoever needs it, and it'll go straight out.
Okay. So once you've got that capability in place, how much can you reduce the time delay between discovery and remediation?
Before, it could take weeks, worst case months. Nowadays, depending how fast you can get the application, the new update, hours, days at most.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so that really helps improve security posture.
Yes, it does.
Can you give us an example of any organization who's doing this well?
The Trust Company. They use Intune along with Patch My PC for their app packaging and deployment.
Okay, and they're able to move pretty quickly?
Yes, they are.
That's
as soon
great.
as there's an update, we notify them, tell them we're going to push it out. That way they notify other users, there's a surprise, and they are constantly up to date.
Fantastic. Are there any apps that are not patched through either Intune or Patch My PC?
Yes, Patch My PC, the last I recall, packaged about 1,500 commonly used apps.
Okay.
And those are the most common used apps that, like I said, Adobe Reader, Chrome. But every business is going to have an application that's specific to their industry. So Patch My PC does not have that in their inventory list. So in that case, you could just manually wrap it and create a package within Intune itself.
Okay. So you manually wrap it as an MSI or EXE or?
There's different methods. You could do a line of business application, which would be an MSI. It's the fastest way of doing it, where you upload the MSI and the Intune will automatically pre-populate the install scripts. The other method is Win32, which I prefer because it gives you more flexibility. You can create if you only wanted to push that application to specific versions of Windows, like Windows 1709, because there's a vulnerability on that version, with Win32 you could add that feature saying, I only want this to go to Windows 1709
Gotcha. You'd
environment.
be very targeted.
You could target just specific. It also gives you more flexibility in terms of the way you discover the app. If you were doing app updates, the way it detects the app, it just provides much more flexibility and more features.
That's great. So why isn't every organization on the planet doing modern app patching in the way you just described?
Could be a few reasons. Could be possibly they're just used to the way they're doing things. Some people love SCCM. They swear by it.
Yeah. It's what they know. It's what they have.
What they have. It's worked for them up until a point. And they just are resistant to change, or they're just not familiar with Intune.
Okay. What are the costs involved for companies who want to embrace modern app patching?
If you already have existing Microsoft 365 licensing, there is no additional cost. It's already
because you've got Intune.
Exactly. There is some additional licensing cost for Patch My PC.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Intune is constantly evolving. So they will keep adding the features and make packaging easier to use.
So we can probably expect Intune to do more of the patching workload over time.
Correct.
Yeah, fair enough. Would you consider modern app patching to be a nice to have or a must have capability?
Must have. It will reduce the time from issues being found into when you can fix them. It's, in terms of security, it's paramount.
So it's really going to help improve the security posture.
Correct.
So any organization is worried about, breaches, hacks, ransomware, really needs to embrace this.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Where does modern app patching fit into the framework of modern endpoint management?
It's a critical component, especially nowadays with the move to work from home. You want to make sure that you can ensure that all the applications are up to date and safe, preventing any hackers from...
Yeah, make sure you got a secure posture in the home environment. People are out of the office.
Correct.
Make sure they're still secure. Yep. Awesome. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, thank you for having me.